Welcome to Live from the Space at 100 Taylor with musical guest Bradley Curtis. Bradley Curtis, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
This is my co-host Jeff Fasano.
Hey.
We've been acquainted.
Yes.
Over many of the things that we share in common.
Yeah.
You know, Brad, so stoked to have you because you are just one of the most. It's like you're like a gem that has not yet been fully polished in Nashville. It's like buying cryptocurrency, like when it was like early. So I feel like really honored that you're here and really happy to have you here, man.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm really appreciative that you had me. Honestly, since my career is just getting going, like it's great that you're giving me these opportunities to talk to you.
Absolutely.
As long as you remember us.
Oh yeah.
When you become this huge star.
I won't forget. Don't you worry.
Oh my God, Brad. So let me start with this. Surrender. I mean, unbelievable song. It came out already like in November, late last year.
Yep.
Which seems like yesterday, but that was like 7-8 months ago.
I know.
But the reception to that song was outstanding. Everyone loved Surrender. What are your thoughts on Surrender now and the reception that it got?
Oh man, I'm happy with. It was like my first song that came out, so I was a little nervous, didn't know how it would be received, but I'm really happy with I got a few different reviews and all that, and I got to interview with you for the first time. So yeah, it's been great. Just getting that recognition on the first one, it's been good. I'm happy about it. Yeah.
So when the first song is like a hit like that, or like a hit, critically acclaimed hit, I should say, that everyone just admires, does that kind of put on some pressure on you with the next releases?
Definitely. Because
it's like, okay, this is a standard that you have to live up to now.
Yeah, I'd say so for sure. It's been a little bit of a kind of trying to get that ready for the next one, but I think this next one's there. I think it's going to be hopefully received as well as Surrender was, but yeah, I'm excited about it.
Dig it.
Yeah.
Dig it. And okay, and from 2020 to now, Brad, everyone's changed. Everyone's evolved in some way or another. I think we briefly talked about this when you were in the podcast, but how have you evolved from last year, as a human?
Wow, as a human. I think...
and artistically.
Yeah, totally. This last year has been crazy. I think for a lot of people, especially touring musicians and everything, they got a chance to slow down, whether or not they wanted to or not. But I think it's been great because, for me personally, I had, going into the pandemic, I was getting ready to release 5 songs as an EP. But then that all hit, so it was kind of just I took a step back and kind of reworked some of the songs a little bit and then decided to, release them as singles. So artistically, it's just been nice to have that chance to kind of step back and, just see what's happening. And, but also just as a person, it's been great. I feel like I'm finally rested.
Sure.
I've spent a lot of time with my wife and my cat and my dog. So it's been a good year of just rest and reflection. So, even though it was rough on a lot of things, I think it was a good thing, honestly.
Have you come up with any new ways of doing things? New ways of writing? New ways of recording? New ideas?
Yeah, definitely. I think even just having more time to just play guitar too. I feel like I've gotten better at guitar, and I've had more chances to, especially in the studio that I work at. Thankfully, I was still able to go there, and we had a little more time this year to kind of play around with equipment, and because we weren't booked as much. So yeah, it was nice. I had a lot more time just to try out different outboard gear and different instruments, and so I really kind of feel grateful that it all hit, because I was so ready to go with this EP and ready to hit the ground running. But I really think if I didn't have this chance to kind of step back, that maybe these songs wouldn't have turned out as good as they did. So
yeah, totally. And I think that thinking of the video of Surrender, which is also great. It's like a natural park. It's in the mountains, and I think you once said that you really resonated with that because nature is so ample, so beautiful, but also so like challenging, just like real life.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really beautiful quote that you said there. Would you say that, like, I think you're in a really good personal spot right now as well, but you've had your challenges. Would you say that, like, you know, that's one of like the good things that have evolved from you, like the way of looking at life's challenges and kind of like twisting them around for opportunities?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think like without challenges, how can you really be grateful and appreciate where you're at? You know what I mean? And as an artist, you got to grow. So there's always going to be these, you know, steps to get past. And, you know, you might take 2 steps forward and 4 steps back, you know, but I think all you can do is just like grow from it and get better, you know? So yeah, I think this year's been, it's been tough for many, but like I guess you just have to look at it for the good, I guess, you know, like
what were because I'm an artist, as an artist too, and having a whole year of reflecting what and I knew what my challenges are because you want to be out there, we're all social people, so we want to be, what were some of your challenges during the pandemic that you're a musician and you're out and you used to be out socially doing what you're doing. What were some of those hectic, crazy moments where you go, I just need to?
Well, just like playing music with other people, like not having that, you know, it was just like now I'm just by myself with my guitar, you know. So I you know, I write songs with my brother as well, so like just having that to be able to bounce off other musicians, you know. I don't really believe anyone does everything completely on their own. There's got to be some sort of like collaboration, you know. So that was a big obstacle to get around. But yeah, just, you know, and I was just so ready. I had some shows lined up and it's been a while, so that was kind of a bummer too. But yeah, and also, you know, there was a little bit of writer's block too in the pandemic, just because like the music not so much, but the lyrics, you know, it's just like I find inspiration just being out and you know, talking with people and like being in real life situations, you know. So I guess, you know, I wish I could have pumped out a few more songs during the pandemic, but I feel like the inspiration is just like flooding in now that things are coming back. And
but you know what? I feel like that's been like a theme. Like a lot of artists have come out and said that. Because at the beginning, remember last year, around this time last year, people were saying, "Oh, Charles Dickens wrote, you know, Great Expectations or whatever, like during a pandemic," and everyone put this like pressure on themselves.
Sure, yeah.
But I think that like what you're saying seems to be more of a common theme. And Brad, let me ask you about like when you first moved to Nashville. Because you moved here 4 years ago, right?
Yeah, about 4
years ago, right? You know, and you're from the Milwaukee area. You came in with your wife. Now you're like in fishing water in Nashville, but I'm curious as an artist, when you first came, the talent level in this city is obscene.
Yeah.
Does that inspire you, or is that like make you a little bit nervous? Like, what are the feelings there like when you first like get to Nashville?
I mean, it's overwhelming for sure. Yeah, I mean, you look around you and you're just like, holy cow. Like sometimes it just makes you want to put your guitar down, you know, because you got some of these guitar players in town and songwriters. It's insane, but at the same time, I think it pushes me, you know. I need that little bit of, you know, I don't want to say competition, but you know, something to drive you and like make you better, you know. Back in Milwaukee, there's a lot of talented musicians there, but not as concentrated as here in Nashville. Right. So it's like once I got in here and into the waters, it's just like, oh wow. But you know, I don't know, I think it's a good thing. I feel like I need that around me. I need people to like be inspired by and, you know, try and match levels, and you know, it's been great, honestly.
Cool. Cool. Okay, and Brad, you've been pretty open recently on social media about some health scares that you kind of like went through or are going through.
Yeah.
What can you share with us a little bit about that? And like, it seems like to be going in the right direction.
Yeah, honestly. So yeah, I haven't really told a lot of people, but I do have hemophilia. For those of you who don't know, it's a blood disorder where my blood doesn't clot as well as it should. So, you know, I could bump into like a little corner of a table, and then I would end up on crutches for weeks and getting infusions and all this, just like things that normal people would just be like a little bruise, but for me it would like take me out of work and all that. So it's just been kind of something I've dealt with all my life. Although I didn't find out until I was like 15, and I was a hockey player.
Yeah.
And I got like 3 concussions that year, and
No teeth.
Yeah, it was rough. And then the doctor's like, "Wait, you have hemophilia. No more hockey." But I think it was all good because that's when I like really started diving into guitar, and you know, so I think it all worked out that way.
Yeah.
But recently, very recently, there's a new medicine on the market where, like in the past, where I would injure myself, I'd have to go in and get an infusion, and it would take a while. But this is a medicine that I just take once a week. That's like a preventative, and so now, knock on wood, I'll be able to bump into something and I'll be all right. So
that's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been kind of like in the back of my head, just like once I start hitting the road and touring, what if I like bump into something, you know, like, and then I got to get to the blood center. So yeah, it's nice not to have that anxiety as much anymore.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, totally. I didn't know you played hockey. That's pretty great. So an athlete and an artist.
It's been a few years, but yeah.
A few years.
Well, when did you grow up playing hockey?
I did, yeah. Yeah,
Milwaukee
so
area.
Milwaukee Admirals fan?
yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, been to quite a few Admirals.
Was that a hockey team? Milwaukee Admirals?
They're the American Hockey League affiliate for the
For the
Nashville
Predators, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
There you go. I should
know.
probably know that. Okay, cool.
I grew up playing hockey.
Oh, really?
Baseball,
Nice.
yeah.
Awesome.
When I was in high school, and I played a little bit in college, played baseball in college
Oh, wow.
and stuff like that.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love hockey, but I just can't play it anymore.
Not anymore. That's great, Brad.
Yeah.
And Brad, okay, tell us. I mean, she's gonna hate that I brought her into this because we were talking off camera. But like, I feel like such a big part of like your success and the way your career is going is you have a really good support system with your spouse, with your partner.
Definitely. My wife is amazing. I wouldn't be here without her, honestly. Like, she has pushed me to do everything that I've done. And
have you had doubts for moments like where you're like, man, like this is moments of like serious doubt, and she's like, let's go?
I feel like we should bring her on camera for this, but yeah, all the time, all the time, you know, and she's just kind of like slaps me out of it, you know, and I don't know, I feel like it's really important to like, even on that end, like I can kind of come to her and show her kind of like a new idea, and she'll just give me like honest feedback right off the bat, which is good, you know, because I feel like some artists will get to a point where they're writing songs and people start to get afraid to tell them like, no, you could do better than that, you know. So it's nice to have that support, and
it's really great. Really important.
Does she see things in you that you don't see in yourself?
Yeah.
Does she see things in you when you hit major blind spots as an artist?
Yeah.
And you start looking outside of yourself and wonder if I'm ever going to be as good as that person, and kind of forget yourself.
Totally.
That you're your own unique voice.
Yeah.
Does she see that in you?
She does.
Very cool.
Even back to the song Surrender, my first song, that is kind of came out of a moment like that where I was actually working on that song and was kind of transitioning from working in the studio as an engineer to wanting to do my own stuff more, and I'm like, is it even worth it? Can I, you know? And then she's just like, she didn't slap me, but she you know, she's like, come on, like, yeah, figuratively,
yeah.
Definitely.
I love it.
Yeah.
Great power couple, love it.
Yeah.
Let's take a break,
Right.
and then get back and talk about the new music from Brad, what you're working on, and some other cool stuff, and maybe we'll get a song if we're lucky.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah.
When we were talking earlier, when you first came into the studio here, I had done some photo shoots at Dark Horse Studios. And I immediately said, do we know each other? And then I started asking you about questions about the studio and what you're learning and what you're doing there and how that plays into your own music. So since you're at this amazing place and have access to so much knowledge and machinery and equipment, how has that played into you creating your sound and your music?
I mean, it's huge, honestly. I did the audio engineering program at Dark Horse Institute. And so from there, if you do well in the program, you can get a chance to intern at their studio, which is where you were at Dark Horse, which is an absolute beautiful studio in Franklin, surrounded by horse farms, and it's just gorgeous down there. I feel like getting out of that program, it just kind of gave me the tools to like start working more in a producer role and like getting sounds, and like once you get something in your head, how do you make that translate that into a sound? And the equipment there is top notch, and so being in the program, I go there and I work for them, and then when the studio's open, I can jump in there and record my own stuff, and it's been amazing. Like, and just collaborating with the other engineers there, and just it's just such a creative environment where we're just kind of bouncing ideas off each other, and it's been amazing. Actually, a lot of the other interns and people who work there have ended up on my songs and
Cool.
engineering for me or doing backup vocals or whatever. So it's an amazing place, and I'm going to hang around as long as I can, honestly. So
Amazing.
yeah.
So it's like in a kid in a candy store saying, I can work here, do this, learn, and then, oh, by the way, I've got a few songs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's like the best of both worlds, honestly. Yeah, I've learned a lot, and then I get to record my own stuff, and even just because I've had experience in other studios with the previous band, and it's kind of like you get in there, you pay your money, you got this amount of time to do it, but you don't really get to kind of like experiment and say
Right.
like, oh, what would this sound like if we went through this preamp or this compressor? And I mean, you can
Sure.
go down a whole rabbit hole, but
Sure.
And they don't close.
no.
That's the
No.
whole thing about that.
better at 3, 4 a.m.,
They,
yeah.
they don't close. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
You can stay there and do stuff, and you can lock up when you leave, right?
It's amazing. It really is. It was a big reason why I decided to move to Nashville. Besides just the music scene and everything, I wanted to get more involved in the recording studio and more hands-on. And
Yeah.
the program was great. I highly recommend it to anyone. I learned a lot.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Are you like a night owl, Brad? Like, are you like 2, 3 in the morning, like tinkering on this stuff?
I was. I think the pandemic has made me into more of a normal person. Like I wake up with the sunrise now, so like I don't know, but I no matter what time of day,
Cool,
I'm just
man.
tinkering. Like
So talk to us about the new EP. Like, I'm curious, like, how's it gonna sound like? Like, give us like what are you getting inspired by getting into it? Like,
well, so I got a new song coming out soon. It's hard to put like my music in the box because like as Nashville, you got country, but you also got a lot of other stuff happening. You got Americana, you got indie rock, you got all this stuff going on. So for me, it's kind of like for a while I was getting kind of frustrated because I can't like put it into a certain box, but I've been getting more comfortable with the idea that I don't really want it to be in a certain box, like if this first record sounds a certain way, like maybe the next one will be even more rockin', or less, I don't know. So I don't really want to pigeonhole myself into one spot, but I would say like this next song coming out, I think is a good follow-up to Surrender, kind of a folk rock, indie rock vibe.
nice.
And then I got some other stuff that might be a little more rockin', a little more upbeat, but yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So this is a cliche question. This is a major cliche question, but for me, being my age and knowing what I like, and I love music, I always like to ask young people, like, so because it interests me, who are your like major influences? Who did you hear? Like, who did you hear first and said, "Wow,
Man.
wow"?
So let me think about this. So yeah, I could, going back to like when I first started like writing my own stuff and playing guitar, it was like bands like the Rolling Stones and stuff like that really just got me going. And I kind of went in like a reverse direction, and I wanted to listen to stuff from the 70s and 60s and back to the blues and all that. And so I got kind of stuck in that era, which I still love. I love like Fleetwood Mac, Allman Brothers, the Stones and all that. And that is still a big influence on me. But in the last few years or so, I've been trying to make like a conscious decision to like listen to music that's, or, try and discover more music that's happening now so I can be relevant and not just be known as like a retro act, I guess.
Gotcha.
But like bands like nowadays, like, I mean, there's so many groups. Like, I love like My Morning Jacket, anything from that to like the Black Pumas are like one of my favorite bands right now. So it's kind of all across the board, like Jason Isbell, like so many different groups, like that, Americana to soul to rock. So yeah, I don't know. If it's good, it's good,
Did anybody pop through Dark Horse when you were there and you went, oh, whoa?
Dolly Parton. Yeah, I got to meet Dolly Parton there, and that was amazing. I met Jason Isbell there too. He was actually doing a voiceover for Squidbillies, so that was pretty. That was pretty cool. It was awesome to watch that. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. It's just
Awesome. So Brad, if we're lucky, there's a rumor that we're gonna get a little song from you.
I think so. Yeah.
Is that the word on the street? Is that true?
I think so. Yeah. I think we can make that happen.
Nice. So what are you thinking? What are you gonna play for us?
Well, I want to play the next single that's going to be coming out here soon. Yeah.
What's the name of it?
Waiting for the Tide.
Waiting for the Tide. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
Stoked.
Head in the sand, waiting for the tide. Ocean waves, won't you carry me away? I see a view painted by the sun and moon. Ocean waves, won't you carry me away, won't you carry me? Tied to a string, flying high above me. Winds of change, won't you carry me away? Above the stars, only a universal part. Our love will never fade away, won't you carry me? And if there ever comes a day when our time is running out and you can't stay, I will walk you to the ocean and I'll take your hand in mine, and we'll fade out as the world slips away. Won't you carry me?
Outstanding. That's a hit.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very
Thank
cool.
you. Thank
Very
you.
What a wonderful song. Jeff, take it away.
So we like to end the show about asking the simple question to have our audience find out something about you. So my question is, and our standard question to everybody is, who are you?
Who am I? Wow, that is a tough one. Well, you know, I'm a singer-songwriter, aspiring producer. I'm a husband, I'm a dog dad, I'm a cat dad. I don't know, I'm just a lover of music, honestly. Man, I'm probably giving you too many answers for this one, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm a man who wears a lot of hats, but at the heart of it, you know, I'm a musician and a big fan of music, honestly.
Love it.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Cool.
Thank you so much for coming, Brad.
Of course,
Yeah,
thanks
What
for
a
having
pleasure.
me.
It's great to meet you.
Cool.
Great to meet you guys too.
Cool.
Thank you.
You got a great heart.